Fire lookout number 1. The original one, if you have a look at the board here behind, is an old little shed built in the 1930s, and then later in the 1940s an updated version came, and that remained in position here until 1976 when Arthur Leese and his team built this particular fire lookout. This is set in the forestry area overlooking the various parts of the Glasshouse Mountains, and what I'll do is in a few moments I'll take you upstairs to the lookout and we'll do a complete 360 right around so you can see where the lookouts were keeping an eye on the horizon for those puffs of smoke after lightning or dry storms that may have caused a fire from a lightning strike. So it was a very important role the lookout had, although most of them today don't do that anymore. They generally have electronic instruments that do all that reading. But nonetheless, a lot of these places have now been turned into good tourist lookouts. So it's a good thing that they've maintained the fine work that Arthur did all those decades ago. So we'll catch you shortly when we do the 360 up in the lookout area. Before we commence our 360 tour, some historical background information. The indigenous peoples who lived in this area for thousands of years had their own special names for the outcrops and hills that we're going to see. We commonly call them the Glasshouse Mountains. How did they come by that name? Well, on May 17, 1770, Lieutenant James Cook, as he was sailing up the coast of Queensland, noticed their unusual shapes. It reminded him of the glass furnaces in his home county of Yorkshire in England. So I will include the indigenous names when I edit the video later on. So what would you be doing? Well, you're going to be up here during those hot summer months. Why? Well, last night a major storm went through, lots of thunder, lots of lightning, no rain. And there were recorded several lightning strikes. So today you're going to be keenly looking at the horizon, as we can see with the blustery conditions, to see if there's any telltale signs of smoke or fire in your area. But how would you go about locating it accurately? Well, as we've seen from previous videos, below the windowsill is the increments or bearings from a compass. That would be your first step. And of course, with those Glasshouse Mountains in the background, that would also give you a pretty quick, ready reference. But just to be sure that you are accurate in your observations during this hot summer day and the blustery conditions, you could consult with the other fire towers in the district. You've got the Wild Horse Mountain further to the east, and also Beerburrum number 2, again further to the east. Once you've got their information and bearings, forestry then would be able to triangulate and get a very accurate description of where that fire was. So you were overlooking millions of dollars worth of timber. Initially, back in the 1930s and 40s, it was all hoop pine, but as that's been harvested, that's being replaced by southern pine. And this was one of the very first areas where these hoop pine plantations was established. We'll catch you now on the next video.